Hello, hello. How is everyone today? We have Boo Boos and Kitty in the house. Oops, sorry. Just accidentally bumped that. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? You doing okay? Are you doing okay? Okay, has to smell the camera. Good kitty. Oh, and he's gone. Okay. Good kitty. Yes. Happy New Year. And oh wait, does he? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Hang on. Oh no, he's okay. He's okay. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm just readjusting. Okay, I have a light. I have a light and it is plugged in, so it will not run out of power. I have a microphone. Look at this. I feel like I'm on TV. I have a new little microphone, so hopefully I will be clearer for everyone. And there's a kitty. There's a cup of tea. Good kitty. Good Bailey Boo. Good Boo Boo kitty. All right, let's see here. I'm going to refresh, pull up this live stream so I can see all of your comments, and we are going to do some tarot readings. Probably until about 1 o'clock. 12:45, 1 o'clock. It's kind of what I aim for. But I need the link so I can see the comments. Okay. Boo Boos and Kitty, yes. All right. Okay, we have tea. We have a kitty. I know everybody is quite worried about what's going on in Iraq with the embassy and whatnot. But and we can read on that. So that's one of the things we can do today, if you would like. Oh, Kathy Wallace, I saw your comment. I know who you are now, and thank you so much for all of your help. Seriously. And if you ever, don't feel like you want to be moderator, of course, just mention it, and we'll find someone. Okay, sweet, stop. Stop. All right, he's rubbing up against the iPad, the light, oh, hello. He's a good kitty. Yes, he is. He's a good kitty. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. And he has to check everything out. Happy New Year, good kitty. And, okay. He's going to sit there. All right, so I think we're going to start with a reading on a kitty approved reading. He's just, come on, sweet. Oh no, he wants to play. People need to see the cards, dear. It's okay. But we're going to start with a reading on the whole, what are the Trumpkins, Trumplings, Trump zombies? What's going to happen with this whole mess in Iran? Okay, so you can't. That's the one place you can't stay. Nobody can see anything. There he goes. All right. The window's now more interesting again. Okay. Whew. All right. Let me get back down here. There we go. All right. Birds need watching, exactly. And I'm so sorry he spent so much time in front of the camera, but he's such a good boy, and he really does add good energy. Yes, the love and cleansing energy of Boo Boo's and Kitty, because he is the good boy. Yes, he is. He is the good boy. And maybe he will go sit in his bed over here. Okay. All right, so actually I just saw a headline that people have retreated from, hello dear, people have retreated from the American embassy in Iraq. And I have a little bit of my leftover bowl of cereal here, but it has some chocolate in it. It has that chocolate kashi stuff. So, sorry, I just had to pick it up. And for lack of anywhere to put it, I've actually just put it in this drawer so the cat can't get to it. We do not want him to be sick. No, because he is the good boy. So let's look at this, what Trump is trying to do using, you know, is Iran using Iraq as a proxy to get at the U.S.? Is the Orange Fuhrer going to overreact? Who would be surprised? Oh, yeah, so upset about the embassy. Renee Way says, I was so upset about the embassy. I never want to see a replay of that. No kidding. And what was I going to say about that? Oh, I see a replay of that. And Lindsey Graham, of course, who is a professional suck-up, he latches himself onto whoever's in power and just does their bidding, or does whatever they think he should be doing. He came out and said, well, there will be no Benghazis under Trump's watch. It's like, oh my gosh, you didn't really just, really? Hello, kitten. All right, so what's going to go on with this whole Iraqi embassy, Iran, Trump? Oh, I've got two for the center of the reading. Before I came on, I was actually watching us. Yes, dear? I was actually watching Steve Judd, Astrology, and he has some really interesting things to say about the 2020, astrology in 2020. Just want to make sure that was right side up, but make sure that's changed. There is some kind of rebellious energy coming this year. And, you know, we are going to get through this. It really is going to be okay. It's just some very old established structures need to change. That's not usually pleasant, but it's not, you know, it's not like, oh my gosh, everybody, let's all move into a bunker. I mean, it's not like that. So, but this coming up to January 12th, where you have a lunar eclipse the day before, partial lunar eclipse the day before, you have a Saturn conjunct Pluto, which is also conjunct Mercury and the Sun. And then over the course of the year, there are a number of things that have to do with Mars getting involved. Jupiter, Pluto won't be as bad. That's going to happen a few times this year, I believe. So there's a lot of old structure, Saturn, and this renewal, this power renewal, this intense phoenix energy, death and rebirth that is Pluto. So they're coming together on January 12th, and then throughout throughout the year, there's going to be things like that. Okay, so for this reading, okay, we have the sun. And yeah, it feels like if there needs to be, there will be evacuations of that embassy if needed. Okay, well, that's good. Keep people safe. All right, in the past, Trump's been running a thing, wanting to go to, well, not wanting to go to war with Iran, but how dare Iran be difficult? How dare they not bow to the might that is us? And it didn't help that the Republicans thought that Hillary Clinton was going to get into power. So what they did was they set up the agreement with Iran so that it had to be re-signed by the president every 6 months. So they were going to use that against Hillary Clinton once she was in office. But she didn't get into office. And then, so Trump had to keep reauthorizing this thing, and he just couldn't, and it became a huge issue. So it's not like this is new. He's been running this nonsense past people, his problems with Iran from the beginning. Okay, center of the reading, I got 2 cards. I have America, the Empress. I have America saying, excuse me, no. But we're kind of up to our necks in it. In the whole thing with Iraq, especially if you add in Iraq, so you've got Iraq and Iran, we are up to our necks in it. And America going, whoa, whoa, hang on. So that's the center of this reading. Base of the reading. This is what we don't want. We don't want to be the nice people who, set up the funerals when the world's on fire, This is the base of it. This is what we don't want. And that expression, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Well, Trump runs in where everybody else knows better than to tread. Above the reading, honestly, strangely enough, what this feels like, it reminds me of those photographs of Iran in the 70s, when you had women wearing Western clothes and you had women having more rights. And that's kind of what's hanging above this, because they're under their own pressure internally, and they can only really be backwards for so long. They can really only cut off half their population to the kind of education and power that everybody needs in the modern world. So you can only do that for so long before it bites you. But they'll learn eventually. In the near future, okay, this is good. Nobody wants war. Nobody wants war. We want calm, temperance, and we want people getting along, even people who don't normally get along. Where you have kind of the lovers, the kind of getting close, going along with somebody who otherwise their policies stink. So this is the near future. This is good. The Temperance card here makes me very happy. All right, but let's get through these cards down here, and then we'll look at the final outcome. Home environment. This is just the strangest, darkest card in the deck. It's kind of hard to see. But this is the King of Wands, and I'm trying to get this thing to, maybe if I do that, it would help. Focus. There we go. Yeah, so this is the King of Wands, which is kind of the guy who, Mr. Fix-It. He makes it work. He kludges things together. And the deal with Iran was not perfect, but they worked really hard on it, and they made it work. And that's the home environment. That's what was happening. But we know that that isn't happening now. Hopes and fears. Everybody's hoping that Emperor Trump doesn't decide to, go by his worst instincts. That he remembers he's a person, not the emperor. What other people see. This is the priestess. This is dealing with the secrets, dealing with to them, the other. And it can be difficult, but let's put a lot more emphasis in our prayers and what have you on there being temperance and not fear of the other pointing out the strongest differences between, rather than pointing out the things we have in common. Final outcome. 10 of Cups. There would be a lot less fear of war is if we went to war and it meant that Trump Jr. was going to have to go to war too. It'd be a very different thing. The final outcome, oh, there we go. Oh, sorry. Okay, 10 of Cups. And you can kind of see where, there can be explosions and horror over there, overseas. But doesn't affect me is kind of the feeling. 2 of Hazards, it feels like, some really nasty people in the American government still trying to treat people in the Middle East like they are less than. And that's just not smart. It's unbelievably stupid. It's repugnant. But the final card is Strength. I think I need a qualifier. Because is that might makes right? Or is that just the fear of there being war, keeping things quiet? Let me just pull 3 more cards on that to see what I get. So what does that mean with the U.S. and Iran? I am getting such a strong feeling that Trump's finances, stuff about Trump's finances, his business practices, stuff he's done, it's like all this is going to be there, but it feels like that's the bombshell that's going to happen here at some point. All right. Also, do let me know if you can hear me better today, now that I'm using this new snazzy microphone. I would appreciate that. Okay, so is this just the fear? Is this the threat of violence? Is this actual violence? Is this might makes right? What is this? Well, it feels like this Page of Wands goes along with this, which is even his basest children, they don't, war affects them. It just does. War will very much affect their base, and they just want to get on with their lives. So that feels like that's connected. The elite, this is the card I get for Kushner in this deck, but the elite, the moneyed, they don't want to go to war. It's not now, no. There is a lot of political maneuvering going on with all this impeachment and all of this going on, political, internal goings on. Oh, tale of destruction. Oh, hang on. Oh, make a pile. Over here. There we go. And the Ace of Wands, which is, it's the beginning of doing something, but it's not war. This is not like the bone at the beginning of the movie 2001. This is just Republicans trying to find a new way forward. Hi, what do you think? What do you think? He says, I don't like this energy. I don't like this energy. You want to sit on my lap? You're welcome to sit on my lap, because I'm going to shuffle the cards and I'm going to read the comments. Yes, I am. Okay, sound and light is really good. Oh, excellent, excellent sound quality. Excellent. All right, that makes me happy. That makes me very, very happy. Random observation. He looks, Eric Trump looks terrible. And he looks like he's lost a ton of weight. Oh, well, I don't wish ill on, I don't want anyone to get sick. But I won't lie if I say that, you know, if he's lost a lot of weight, you know, how? Let me know, because I took my baseline this morning, since it's the 1st of January, and which included taking my measurements, and you know, that's humbling for anybody. So our measurements are really never what we want them to be, but oh, sweetheart, hello, good kitty. You know, all they can see is your body. They can't see that cute little face of yours. They can't see you smelling. Oh. Okay, he wants to rub up against the light and the camera, and it's kitty approved. It's like he can, it's funny because he could be rubbing up against any number of things, but, and I'm not even focusing on the camera, so it's not like, oh, well, you're focusing on this, so I'll rub against that. No, I can see things over here. It's, I don't know, maybe he can feel your energy. I don't know. But it's much nicer energy than just reading on these guys. All right, so it's kitty owned. Yes? Are you stuck? You're stuck. Okay, calm down. Calm down. I'm trying to unhook you. You're just hooked into me. It's okay. I'm just trying to help. There you go. There you go. I think you're a little overexcited. Little overexcited. Poor little thing. Poor little thing. Yes, he is rubbing you. Okay, so what can I read on next here? What would you like me to read on next here? Kitty tested, kitty approved. I love you people. You're so great. What political thing would you, yeah, overstimulated, needs toys. Also, you know, in the mornings, we go outside and we do all this stuff, and by this time of day, somebody should be napping, yes. Somebody should be taking a good kitty nap. All right, calm down, calm down. All right, I'm gonna put you over here on your bed, because you can't just stay there, precious. Come here. Come here, there you go. There you go, you just lie down there. All right, what would you guys like me to read on? So you're reading your comments. Facebook and the upcoming election. Well, that's a good one. Read on Mueller. Is there any reason why you would want me to read on Mueller? He's retired. He's glad it's over. Every time I read on this guy, I get this really strong feeling how much he loves his wife. The thing is, you know, I read on the collective energy. I don't have omniscient abilities. So I've never heard word one about Mueller and how he feels about his wife, but it's just a really strong feeling I get, and apparently I'm not the only one. All right, tired kitty. Tired kitty. Come on, sweetie. You need to get some sleep. You're tired. You're just, you're just like a kid who's too tired. Sienna. Did someone say Sienna? Listening to this on my walk. Excellent. Okay, so all right, let's see. Okay, we're getting down now. There you go. All right, so Facebook and the election. Let's have a quick look at that. Facebook and the 2020 election. Oh, boy. Zuckerberg. Seriously. When it comes to Zuckerberg, all I can think is, would someone please be kind and, send him a can of oil for Christmas? He is the most robotic Aquarius I've ever seen. At that hearing he was in, it was like, oh my gosh. I'd say he's so lifelike, but he wasn't. Facebook in the 2020 election. I am almost never on Facebook these days. And I was just going through a lot this last year. But I use Messenger, but that's about it. But yeah, I know many people are still on there. So Facebook and the 2020 election. Yeah, it's a place for people who are, you're home with your kids and you're doing your chores and you're trying to relax and live your life. And it's a place where a lot of people go just to chat and connect. Okay. In the past, it was definitely, the Queen of Cups is, if you can hear, I don't know if you can hear in the back, but the cats are meowing at each other because they're both tired and they should both be asleep. And so they're outside the door, literally meowing at each other. Like they're arguing. Oh, I shall return. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh. There you go. You can see outside. Guys, quit it. Oh, yoy. Okay. Where is my microphone? Okay. Toddlers in fur coats, absolutely. Yeah, I finally have a microphone, and I have lighting, and I'm here, and this is the day the cats decide that they're going to be grumpy and not sleep. My turn for the top bunk. Yes. Yes. Facebook in the 2020 election. Queen of Cups. These are just, Cups is the card, it's the water sign, the card of feeling. And there, a lot of women, it's this is all very kind of, I don't want to say it's just domestic energy, but it's that whole, you get to go home, you're home, you can relax, you can connect with people, you can see what's going on, that sort of thing. But at the center of the reading, it's the decisions they've made. And this is, I've explained this before, but this is like this is the Two of Swords. And in the Rider-Waite deck, it's the woman holding the two swords. But in here, he's holding these two weapons, but he just swung the one up and took out a zombie. And it's a lot more contentious because this energy is very, very different from this other energy. Okay, base of the reading. that it's kind of hit and miss. That's what I'm getting. The energy's kind of hit and miss. And it leans toward being a good time slightly more, but I mean, just enough that enough people stay on it. But it's hit and miss whether it's enjoyable or not. Okay, above the reading. Aha, this is interesting. The Ace of Wands is the beginning of doing something. It can also be like a bludgeon. But this is the Hierophant, and this is media. The Hierophant is its establishment media, establishment government, establishment, do you know what I mean? And Facebook is now, I mean, it's part of the establishment. It has that much power, it has that much money, and some people are using it as a bludgeon to try to get their own points across. So, all right, that's what's hanging above it. Near future. I've got two major arcana cards here. I've got the Chariot, which is movement, but also these guys, you know, with all of their weapons going at it, and strength. I realize in this deck there's a whole lot of violent imagery, and I'm not saying there's going to be violence. I do not want there to be violence, but as far as more like violent arguments and riling people up, it's just a lot of upset, and it's an overall arching thing, because these are major arcana, so they're bigger, stronger forces than the minor arcana. Home environment. Yeah, and in your feed, you can get a whole lot of ick. That's what that is. Okay, hopes and fears. I'll do this like this because usually it'll focus better. Hopes and fears, heartache. Yeah, we don't want to lose the connection to people we otherwise wouldn't have a connection with. Friends, family, people we've worked with. We don't want to lose it, but it's really hard to be on there when people are arguing about, you know, they're reposting things that are really heinous and awful and or not true. And I mean, I remember before the 2016 election, just before it, seeing a post on Facebook where someone said, the Pope has endorsed Donald Trump. And I was like, that's not true. And I know that's not true. But I was looking at it because it was just right there. Just all the ick, you know. What we see. Well, we see the families. We see families kind of fragmented and, you know, but they're still families. You know, you still love people, you still live with them, you still deal with them. There are family dinners, there are holidays, there are, you know, even though you have different viewpoints. So, and that is what I'm getting there. All right, final outcome for Facebook and the 2020 election, where we get it be looking very contentious, and then, but the final outcome, they are going to make some good changes. That's what I'm feeling with this Queen of Wands. There are still going to be some people who will believe anything. That doesn't feel good. That's some people. This is changes being made. But this is some people believing anything they see, and this is the worst of the worst. Do not open. Where it says right there, do not open. Yeah. Viruses, do not click through, just hate mongering. And it feels like, this very much feels like Facebook putting in some good practices, but they're just not enough. They're just not enough to combat this. So is it really going to have an effect on, is it really going to have an effect on the election, on who people vote for? It is, I am feeling this this Two of Cups, I am feeling it quite strongly. This sense of, this is, what, we're in year 4 of the Trump era. 17, 18, 19, 20, And by now, it's like, how many times can you fight with your relatives? Where ultimately you have to say, okay, are we going to agree to disagree and just not talk about it? Because if that's going to happen, it's going to happen. You can only argue for so long before you either just can't stand being around each other, or you just talk about other things. So, but if it's not going to be enough, is it going to make real changes in the election? No. Oh, Tale of Destruction. Tale of Destruction. Okay, back to this. Sweetie, you need a nap so badly. Yes, you do. You need a nap, good boy. Sword of Truth, cutting through. This is people concentrating on other things and not taking the bait as much, which is good. This is people still, this is trolls, American and Russian and wherever else, still trying to cause problems, but they're having trouble getting attention because people are concentrating more. They're paying less attention to politics on Facebook. And they aren't just accepting things as blindly as they used to. So I'm not feeling it having anywhere near as a big an effect as it did in 2016. So at least there is that. Of course, there are always going to be people who will tell you that the sky isn't blue. And you saw for yourself when I had to go after the cats and knock the camera, you saw yourself the sky is blue. All right, so let me pick these up and then I will look at your comments. Okie dokie. I'll be watching from the other side in 50 years as young people will watch old footage of this ridiculousness. Oh, yeah. Tale of Destruction needs a cat nap. Yes, he does. Somebody has problems coming from here. 45 million cash he paid for Trumpery. I don't quite understand that. I have a sleep hangover. Lack of it, will be sleeping for the rest of the afternoon. Oh, I hope you feel better. The corrupt obscenity of the Donald knows no bounds. I agree. I agree. Nancy Pelosi in the Senate trial. And under what circumstances does Pelosi hand over the articles of impeachment? Will there be a trial? If so, what will it look like? That is a very good question, and it looks like something I should read on now. Hello, sweetie. Are you going to get some rest? You can sit on my lap if you want. I want to do an updated reading on that. So let's see where the energy is going right now. Nancy Pelosi, when and under what circumstances is she going to turn over the articles of impeachment? Sweetheart. Why don't you come over here? You should come over here and get some sleep. Yes, you should. There you go. There you go, good boy. Nancy P. Nancy P. and the MP. Impeach. Oh, she is. I love her energy. She has taken his lunch money. She is. Oh, kitty. Good kitty. Just get some rest, sweetheart. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, she is just large and in charge. I love her energy. 5 of Wands. Well, people are, there's definitely fighting about it, there's argument about it, but I mean, she's just wrestling people to the ground. That's what that feels like. Okay, in the past, he got impeached. He got impeached in the House of Representatives. Okay, center of the reading. A medal, something Donald Trump is never going to win. The star, it's the card of hope. And Zombie Slayer, Medal of Honor. You know, that's the center of this, which is that's who she is, that's who she's trying to be, and doing a pretty good job of it. Base of the reading. This is the shenanigans the Republicans have been up to, where they have the perfect life, but they have lapdogs and servants working for them, and they gerrymander and mess with the voter rolls and try to pull in Hunter Biden nonsense into the impeachment trial. I mean, that's just Republican shenanigans. Above the reading. A lot of grandstanding. We saw it in the House committee hearings, and it's here now. Look at me, I have the bigger grievance. Okay, near future. She is, oh, this is not good. She is waiting to help as much as she can to get, you know, as many assurances as she can that it's going to be something like an actual trial and not just McConnell doing a rubber stamp. Oh, he's free, you know, done. But the senators are very much in the Republicans are very much chained to the party right now. And they got themselves into this mess, and that feels very much like they can't move positions. Yikes. Home environment. It feels like Nancy, I'm going to do this so hopefully it'll focus. It feels like Nancy is counting on how disgusted the Republicans are and how it's kind of a politically, metaphorically get out of Dodge kind of thing. And that energy, that's what she's kind of capitalizing on here. Hopes and fears. Yeah, she's afraid that it's all just that's gonna be that. It's not gonna work. You know, Trump got impeached in the House, but the Senate just isn't going to move forward with it. It's like, well, that's that. Okay, cut him down. What other people see, well, that's good. Although it may be more of an attempt at justice than actual justice. But also, this feels like rumblings in the background, in the distance, of SDNY and the Supreme Court taking on whether or not people have to turn over Trump's financial records. In the distance, the rumbling. Put your ear against the train track. You can hear it in the distance. Final outcome. Well, there is going to be some kind of agreement. And it might even be a particularly good one. But ultimately, you're going to get the Republicans trying to break up the party, trying to break up this love fest. Yeah, there may be some concessions, but McConnell is such a jerk. McConnell is such a jerk. Okay, let me see if there's any more information. Just 3 more cards on that. Eight of Swords. Seven of Hazards is the Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Hazards, which is the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is all diverting into Republican-based nonsense. We're still in this, this idea of Trump's base running things. And Fox News still having the power it has. This isn't going to last, is what it feels like, but that's where we are right now. So we're not going, unfortunately, we're not going to see the dramatic improvement that we're hoping to see, but more and more I have been getting cards of people trying to work together, of just being sick of the fighting, just being sick of the divisiveness. Because after a while, you fight and you fight, then you're just tired and you haven't gotten anything done and you haven't changed anybody's mind. And yeah, so that is what I'm getting for Pelosi and the impeachment trial in the Senate. That was a very good question. Alrighty. Oh gosh, look at Boo Boo's and Kitty out like a light. The good kitty. Okay, so let me look at the comments. Autumn, I'd so close. Oh, I'm so close to 6,000 subscribers. I am, and thank you for noticing that. Hit the like button. Their day is coming. Please read on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Is it possible much of missing monies are being transferred via these? That is a good question. Okay, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. This is one of my it seems odd, but one of my big things, my I don't know, bugaboos, whatever you call them, the thing that really always gets me is the state of our national debt. And I'm not talking about, oh, the budget balance this year or last year didn't. No, I'm talking about the $20 trillion debt or wherever it is right now. And the fact that it's a fiat, we have a fiat currency and it's not, which means it's not linked to gold. It's not linked to anything stable. And it's what allowed administration after administration to run up massive debts, including the Trump administration. Drives me nuts. And I really worry about it. I think that the government doesn't properly show us the inflation number, and inflation is terrible. And this is what happens when you have a fiat currency that isn't tied to gold or something decent. So now we're starting even to get into cryptocurrencies. And that's, that's even removed, that's removed even more from something tangible. So the more we get into this, the more that I am uncomfortable with this. But let me see what I can do. We're a huge debtor nation. When is China going to pull the plug? Exactly. All right, let's see here. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. This is important. This is important because I really do not want to see a repeat of the 1930s. We're heading into the Roaring 20s, or the 21st century Roaring 20s, which may or may not roar, but cryptocurrency. I don't think I've read on this in any of my videos. Death of old systems. That's what that feels like. Which is kind of what we're in the middle of. In the past, there were laws in place. There were not appropriate, but there were actual laws and working laws in place before. Now we're getting into murky areas. Center of the reading, Page of Wands again. A lot of people don't understand what's going on, and they're just like, okay, I'm sure somebody has it figured out. That's what I'm getting there. Below, we have there. I mean, let's just face it. Even if you love Bitcoin, if you love cryptocurrency, you have to admit there are some people that are in cryptocurrency who use it for shady things, or they've set up bad systems, and then you have others who say it's absolutely necessary because they have this doomsday mentality. And if you try to tell them anything different, you get the la la la, I can't hear you. Above the reading. Okay. Above the reading, we have the Five of Swords and the Seven of Cups. A lot of people, they can't wrap their heads around it. Yeah, I'm not in the, I know some of the terminology, I just can't think of any of it at the moment, which can happen when you're kind of in an alpha state and you're reading cards. It's hard to pull up facts. But yeah, the way that it's set up, and it has to be set up with not a locker, but anyway, it's with all that, it's above people's heads. And right now it's kind of the Wild West. It's not regulated properly. It's not, yeah. Near future. Well, it looks like Trump and his minions may turn to this kind of thing. Well, if it's all fake news and the media can't be trusted and the government can't be trusted, nobody can be trusted, and Trump has been impeached in the House of Representatives, and maybe this is where they're going, which is, further down their own rabbit hole. Home environment. The government is trying to come up with some kind of regulation, and most people are still using official currency, or in whatever form that takes, credit cards or debit cards or whatever that is. All right, hopes and fears. We're hoping it all going really going icky, and just trickle down ickiness. Just not nice at all. That's the fear. What other people see? That you can lose your shirt. Yeah, you can absolutely lose your shirt. And your home and everything else. Okay. Final outcome. Cryptocurrencies are going to gain in popularity, but that's not necessarily saying they're going to take over. But they're definitely going to gain in popularity, and there's going to be a feeling that it's there's still going to be fear about it, the do not open, but a feeling like the eggheads. I don't know why that expression's coming to mind, but the eggheads are the ones who really understand it. And for regular people, it's making decisions, and do they even have the resources to get involved in this? And how dangerous is it? So I think it's going to slowly gain in popularity for a while, but this does not feel like, okay, that's where we're going. It really doesn't. Yeah, I worry a lot about inflation and our currency, especially, in the US, all over the world, especially in the US. Let me see, is there anything else to be had on this topic? Gosh, I wish I could stay longer. I get so tired, unfortunately. Got me for about an hour, and then I've got to rest. But they're gonna be people studying this, and they're gonna come up with ideas, and there are gonna be other options. And these are still the people who really, really know all the details about how this works. They're still going to be the people you need to avoid at parties. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting for that. We're good for now, and it will gain some popularity. Okay. Well, let me just see. Take a nap with Boo Boo. Yeah. Okay, and I can, it is 1 o'clock, but maybe if somebody has a simple question, I can just pull 3 cards on, and then I'm going to drink my tea. You are most welcome, everyone. I want all of you to have such a great year. I just want all the best for you. And will they federally legalize marijuana? Yes. I'll pull 3 cards on it, but yeah, they need the revenue. Will they legalize marijuana? Yes, because they need the revenue. that's what it may not be tomorrow, but that's what that card felt like. Okay, what was that last? Energy. Okay. Oh yeah. Is there a message from Spirit for 2020? Okay, and then I will have to go, I'm afraid. But I will be back tomorrow because what is this, day 8 of the 12 days of impeachment? And who knows? I may keep doing live readings like this. I don't know. I don't know yet. Message from Spirit for us for 2020. The first thing I'm getting is guides and all the ones of higher vibration, just saying we're here. We're doing everything we can to help. We care about you. That's what I'm getting from that. It doesn't necessarily feel like it, and it certainly hasn't felt like it for the past few years, where we have felt very material and very unappreciated. I don't know that this is the best deck to be doing this reading with, but this is what came up, and I'm getting a lot of the same. My gosh, I am getting a lot of the same cards that came up in reading after reading. What I am getting from this group of cards is hang in there, because to some extent it almost feels like episodes in a TV show that you're binge watching, only it's real life. And yes, there are real consequences, and yes, it can be hard, but there is a point where you have to step back and just you affect what you can. You do what you can, and then to some extent you have to step back. You just make sure you vote and what have you. But as things happen, you almost like put a frame around them, like you would a TV episode. If you had one of those old-fashioned TVs where you have a frame around the pictures, and like they're all different characters. So that may seem foolish, and heaven knows we really don't want to embrace the kind of lack of reality that we've had to deal with for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. But at the same time, mentally we have to get through this. But realize you're not alone. And it feels very strongly that we're not alone. And we all have guides. We do. We all have guides. We all have relatives on the other side who are sending us good energy, who want to help us. We all have guides of different kinds who come and go to try to give us the best information on whatever it is we're working on. We have each other, and there just are much more. There are nicer people, more nice people than bad. There are more good people than bad. It's just how it is. So hang in there, and I'll work on the lighting a bit more. But I'm glad the sound's better. You know, for the 12 days of impeachments, I imagine I will get all of this technical stuff completely sorted out on day 13. So, all right, thank you so much thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much to Kathy, Kathy for moderating. I am so grateful. And Noelle said she would do some moderating too, and it means a lot. All right, Happy New Year, everybody. It's things are going to happen this year, but you know, just hang on to that good energy. Okay? All right, and I will see you wonderful human beings. I will see you tomorrow. All right, thank you.